Hello there, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing brownstones in The Sims 4. This is actually going to be a two-part video where I do two units. In this video and the next week will be a dark academia brownstone. So if you are interested in that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you won't miss that upcoming video. I do just want to apologize real quick. I am currently sick and my voice just sounds a little bit off. Like I mentioned that in last week's video. Unfortunately, I feel like I've gotten worse. It's kind of gotten into my throat, but you probably don't want to hear all about me being sick. We are going to be doing a basement apartment for the first little bit of this video, and then the upper level is kind of more of a family home style with a business in one of the bedrooms, but we'll talk more about the single family story part of the video later on. And I designed this apartment for a artist who maybe just like got out of school or their partner is still in school. And honestly, the school part doesn't really matter, but I did design this space for a cat, and I wanted this area to feel very eclectic. And so I am going to be using lots of items from cats and dogs in this unit. So there are, I think, 6 units total. I did 2 basement apartments and then 4 like normal houses, and this is like technically the ground level of the lot. I just didn't want to have like an actual basement. I feel like what I did here is pretty accurate to a New York brownstone. Please forgive me if it is not. I've actually never been to New York. I was just kind of going off of things I've seen on YouTube. YouTube's so cool where you can like learn so many things and like explore the world but still be at home. I like watching different like Europe Disney videos or Tokyo Disney videos, and I'm sorry for that little ramble. I am just trying to fill in this time. I don't really have a script prepared when I do these videos or these voiceovers, and it's a little bit harder for this video because I'm sick and I don't want you guys to be like, ooh, like you don't sound good. So I understand if you just want to mute my voiceover part and then maybe listen to something a little bit more pleasant than a sick girl doing a voiceover. So right now we are in the bedroom, and this is kind of like in the middle of the apartment. So there's like a bathroom and living room towards the front of the apartment. This bedroom is in the middle, and then there is a kitchen towards the back. So we are just going to be adding some side tables, trying to like make this functional for 2 Sims, although it you can obviously just have one Sim living here. And I wanted to put a lot of different art pieces in this uh, apartment because of them being an artist, and so we are just going to be adding some lights, and I was trying to keep these side tables pretty simple, and so we are just going to be going and adding just a cat tree into this corner. So, or not cat tree, no, I do add a cat tree. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sick and I kind of forgot what I added. So we are just going to be adding some artwork, going to be going into the kitchen. This kitchen is pretty small, but I do make it bigger later on, so you can have 2 Sims cook together if you like to have your Sims cook together. wanted it to be fun, so I used these cool green counters from Parenthood, and I feel like since this is an artist, they would appreciate this pop of color, so we are just going to be adding some upper cabinets and going to be moving some items slightly. I feel like having a a sink under the window is very classic looking, and so we are just going to be adding a litter box into the bathroom. You probably saw that I originally had a shower tub combo in this bathroom. I honestly wasn't planning on having a animal in this apartment, but I feel like it just kind of made sense, kind of gave a different storyline for this person in this apartment compared to the other two apartments that I will be showing you. And so we are just going to be adding some curtains for privacy and going to be adding a rug under the sink. And now we're going to be adding a dining room into this little hallway space. This is just kind of the best space to add a little dining area. There is really only room for 2 Sims, so I feel like it just made sense to put it against this wall. And we do add this cool like gameplay feature where your Sims can like paint on the walls, and I feel like this made so much sense for this apartment. I don't know if their landlord would totally be okay with them painting on the walls, but maybe they are the landlord and they can do whatever they want with their apartment. And so this is a like a rental lot. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. So this is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom unit, and now we are going to be going upstairs into the 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom unit. So this is designed with a photographer in mind for this apartment, but I don't really get into too many of the photography items at the beginning. I'm just kind of like space planning right now. I know I want to have this cool fireplace that came with the base game 25th anniversary update, and going to just be adding a TV. So this is kind of like the living area in the front of the apartment, kind of like the basement unit. And this apartment kind of has a blue furniture themed in the living room, and I think it carries over into the kitchen with this color scheme. But I didn't really do too much with the window bench area because I just imagine that would be like a built-in feature, and so we are just going to be adding some chairs and going just making this a little community space, little gathering spot for this apartment. One of the bedrooms is a business area. I was mentioning, like I said earlier, the photographer would be in this home, and so I turned one of the bedrooms into a little studio. I don't know if you would be able to use this as a like business residential lot. I currently do not have the business and hobbies pack, and so I can't like say for sure. But if you don't really want a photographer brownstone house, over the summer, I did make a home that was inspired by apartments in Paris because of the Olympics, and one of the areas of the apartment is a little cafe. So if you want your Sims to own a little French cafe, you can go check out that on the Sims 4 gallery. I also made a YouTube video about it, so if you want to check all that out, you can go over into my videos in my channel. The video is called Paris Apartment and More, and it was fun. I tried to make it accurate, but I also wanted to give myself some freedom, so I just kind of looked up images of Paris apartments, and then I kind of made a build, and then I decided maybe I should look at YouTube for Paris apartments and see how accurate I made it. And I think I was pretty close. The apartments are probably bigger in my build than in real life, or it could just be the videos I found. So this apartment on the end does have a fire escape. It's kind of by the kitchen area, and we are just going to be adding a little chess table in this entry way, just kind of trying to find something to fill in this space. And I feel like having these like skill building items is a good feature to have. And so we are just going to be making a little gallery wall that your sim who may or may not be a photographer could add their work into these frames. And I feel like it's just kind of a good like portfolio because the studio is upstairs, so it's like kind of like cool to like show the clients the work as they are walking up the stairs. So we are just going to be finishing off this first level with the half bath, and then we are going to be going upstairs and going to be starting off the upstairs with the studio apartment. This bathroom is just a very simple bathroom, and now we are upstairs going to be adding some items into this hallway just to keep it a little bit like more filled, a little bit less empty. And now we're in the bathroom. So this is the only bathroom that can service this level. I didn't really have enough space to add a like primary suite into this level. I mean maybe could have, but the bedroom would have just been really, really small. And so we are now in the studio space, and I decided to make this space the photo studio because it's kind of more oddly shaped with the bathroom, and it does have a fire exit or a window where your Sims can climb out of. So in a way, it just kind of like made sense. Like if there's like a lot of hot lights and like hot material that could catch on fire. I don't think lights can catch on fire or be the cause of catching on fire in The Sims, but realistically, it would be a ideal spot to have the window with the fire escape in the business room. So we are just going to be adding a little dressing area and going to be adding a few more lights into this space. And I added the music thing, one because I wanted to add music and more items from the Moschino stuff pack, but two, I know that sometimes when people are taking photos or like in a photo shoot, they like to make it feel more natural and like dance to music. So that was kind of my thought process with that. And now we are in the primary suite. So this bedroom is the bigger out of the three, or maybe it's the bigger out of the two bedrooms I designed to be bedrooms. So we are just going to be adding a rug, and I kind of keep with this like red pattern color scheme in this room, and so we are going to be adding another window bench and going to be adding a picture frame TV. And I realize now that the blue kind of contrasts the rest of this red, but there is some hints of blue in the bedding, like on that like back part where the pillows are. So we are just going to be adding some lights, and this room is pretty simple. I just wanted to kind of just keep it in a color scheme, and so we are just going to be adding a little nook for some like air pipes, like the HVAC system, because I couldn't figure out what to put in that corner. And so you know what, I just decided to fill it in my mind. I'm like, okay, that's like where like the air conditioning system is, and I feel like they should add more items like this that keep it realistic, like a pantry item or a closet item. But we are now in the teen's bedroom. I was mentioning that this would be a little bit of a spoiled teen. I not really like design it too much for stability, but in my mind I'm like, okay, they have a nice fancy computer in their bedroom. They have access to the rooftop from the room. I just kind of imagined that they would be more on the spoiled side. They have a big, nice, fancy bed, and so we are just going to be adding some clutter. Most of these items are from the high school years pack, and so we are just going to be adding a dresser, and we do a little bit of rearranging in this space. So I wanted to have the bed be facing the window, and I feel like this layout works a little bit better with the dresser item. And I wanted to add a blue furry rug, and going to be adding some posters from the high school years expansion pack, and I feel like this just makes it feel very lived in. And so we are just going to be adding some posters above the computer gaming system. This is the only computer in this unit, and so it's one reason why it ended up in the teens room. And so we are just going to be finishing up this area with sizing up the blue furry rug and going to be heading into the entryway to the rooftop balcony. I did Google like rooftop balconies for brownstones, and like they were more elaborate, but I wanted this to be kind of like unnoticeable. I wanted like the access to look more like a chimney than like a greenhouse, and so we are just going to be adding a little hangout spot, going to be adding some garden beds, and my goal for this area was just to make it not visible from the ground level. So we are getting close to the end of the video. If you have any build suggestions for me, please make sure to leave them down in the comments. And if you want to see next week's brownstone, you can hit that like and subscribe button to make sure you don't miss it. So we are just going to be finishing up this area with some lounge chairs and a circle rug, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!